In a vast galaxy, peace reigned for over 3,000 years. The Galactic Council, a powerful assembly of different alien species, ruled with wisdom. Each race had its strengths, and they worked together to ensure a harmonious existence. They shared knowledge, resources, and culture. The Council's motto was simple: together we thrive. But beneath this calm surface, a storm was brewing. On Earth, human technology had been advancing rapidly. The latest ships could travel faster than light, and their weapons had become incredibly powerful. Humans were proud of their achievements, but their rise caught the attention of the Galactic Council. Some council members whispered about the potential threat humans posed. "They could disrupt our peace," said Zarnok, a member of the reptilian race known for their cunning strategies. The council, however, brushed aside these concerns, believing their forces were unbeatable. As news of human advancement spread, the atmosphere in the council chambers grew tense. A large meeting was called to discuss the situation. Representatives from various races filled the grand hall, each one looking anxious. The leader of the council, a wise being named Elder Thalos, opened the session. "Today we gathered to discuss the growing influence of humanity," he began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "We must take precautions. Their technology is advancing faster than we imagined." "But should we really be worried?" questioned Lyra, a small, delicate alien from the cloud species. "Humans are still primitive compared to us. We have no reason to fear them," Zarnok quickly rebutted. "That may be true, but they are unpredictable. They have a history of rebellion. We must act before they become a real threat." As the debate continued, a sudden alarm blared throughout the council building. All conversations stopped, and the council members turned their attention to a screen displaying a human ship in a restricted zone. It had entered an area marked off for an upcoming council ceremony. The ship drifted, seemingly lost in space. Panic swept through the council. "What are they doing there?" shouted a loud voice. "We need to send a message." Elder Thalos remained calm, raising his hand for silence. "This may be our chance to show the humans their limits. If they ignore our laws, we must respond." With a swift decision, the council declared that the human ship had violated their territory and prepared for a show of force. They believed a demonstration of power would send a clear message to Earth and deter future intrusions. Meanwhile, on Earth, the news reached human leaders quickly. President Harrison, a strong figure known for his sharp mind, gathered his top advisors. The room was tense, filled with concern and fear. "What do we do?" he asked, looking at his team. "They're declaring war over a misunderstanding." One advisor spoke up. "We need to prepare for the worst. We can't let them bully us. If they think they can scare us, they will continue to push." Harrison nodded, determined. "We will not back down. We must unite all our forces and show them that humanity stands strong." Back in the Galactic Council chambers, the preparations for war began. Troops were mobilized and fleets were readied. The Council believed they would easily defeat the humans. Their overconfidence blinded them to the fighting spirit that humans possessed. As the Council's warships lined up in formation, the Council members felt a mix of excitement and fear. They had always been victorious in past conflicts, but this time was different. The humans were unpredictable, and the Council had no idea what they were truly capable of. On Earth, preparations also ramped up. Engineers worked tirelessly to improve human ships and weapons. Citizens rallied together, united by a common goal, to protect their home. The atmosphere was electric with determination. The stage was set for a battle unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Tensions rose on both sides as the first shots were about to be fired. Little did the Council know, humanity was not a weak species to be underestimated. They had faced challenges before and had always found a way to rise above. As the two sides prepared for war, the universe held its breath, unaware that a new chapter in history was about to unfold. The warning signs had been clear, but it was too late for the Galactic Council to turn back. They had declared war on humanity, and the consequences would echo through the stars. The news of the Galactic Council's declaration of war against humanity spread like wildfire across Earth. Citizens were shocked and fearful, but they also felt a spark of determination. They knew they had to prepare for a fight, and they had to do it quickly. The atmosphere was tense as leaders called for unity among nations, and every citizen was urged to contribute in any way they could. In the heart of the capital, President Harrison stood before a massive crowd gathered at the National Mall. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with a sense of urgency. Today, we face a challenge like no other, he said, his voice strong and steady. The Galactic Council believes we are weak, but they will soon learn that humanity is anything but weak. We will fight for our home! The crowd erupted in cheers. People held banners that read, "Together we stand and fight for Earth." The spirit of unity washed over everyone, inspiring them to take action. Meanwhile, in military headquarters, top commanders were deep in discussion. They had gathered the best minds in strategy, technology, and combat to devise a plan. General Mitchell, a veteran known for his tactical genius, addressed the room. "We may not have the technology of the Council, but we have something they do not, our creativity and our will to survive." The team brainstormed ideas, discussing how to use Earth's technology to its advantage. Engineers worked day and night, modifying existing ships and weapons. They created new defense systems designed to confuse and outsmart the Council's advanced technology. Every scientist, mechanic, and soldier played a role in the effort, working tirelessly to protect their planet. As humans gathered to prepare for war, stories of bravery and resilience circulated. People shared tales of historical battles where humanity overcame great odds. These stories served as a reminder that they had faced challenges before and triumphed. The legendary fight for independence, the struggle against tyranny, these memories fueled their spirit. Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council prepared for the attack. Confident in their victory, they believed humanity would be an easy target. Elder Thalos reviewed the plans, unaware of the determination brewing on Earth. "We will strike swiftly and decisively," he declared. "Once we show them our strength, they will surrender." The council members nodded in agreement, but a few expressed concerns. "We should not underestimate the humans," one said. "They have proven to be unpredictable." But Elder Thalos dismissed their worries, insisting that their superiority would ensure victory. Back on Earth, the military trained relentlessly. Soldiers practiced combat drills, honing their skills for the battles ahead. The air was filled with the sounds of ships taking off, and the ground shook with the rumble of tanks. The human forces grew stronger, united in their fight for survival. Each soldier knew the stakes. They were fighting not just for themselves, but for their families, their friends, and their future. Amidst this preparation, a group of civilians decided to help. They formed community organizations to gather supplies and support troops. From baking bread to sewing uniforms, people across the globe joined the effort. Children painted signs and waved flags, shouting messages of hope and encouragement to the soldiers as they prepared for battle. In a small town, a young woman named Maria worked in her father's garage, creating a prototype of a new weapon. Inspired by the stories of human resilience, she poured her heart into her creation. "If we can build something that surprises them, we can turn the tide," she thought, determined to contribute to the fight. As the days passed, both sides prepared for war, but the feelings were vastly different. The Galactic Council felt invincible, while humanity was fueled by a fire of hope and strength. The final preparations came to an end, and the day of the battle approached. Humans were ready to show the Council that they were not to be taken lightly. Each heart beat with determination as they prepared to defend their home. The time for talk was over. It was time to fight. As the two sides moved closer to conflict, the galaxy held its breath. The warning signs had been clear, and the stakes had never been higher. The clash of worlds was imminent, and neither side could predict the outcome. Would humanity rise to the challenge and prove its strength, or would the Galactic Council crush them underfoot? The answer lay just beyond the stars. As the days passed, the tension in the galaxy grew thicker. The Galactic Council prepared for a large-scale attack on Earth, but on the ground, the human spirit burned brighter than ever. Citizens were filled with courage, united by a shared purpose. They were ready to defend their home at any cost. In military headquarters, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and determination. General Mitchell gathered his team for a final briefing before the battle. The room was filled with maps, diagrams, and holograms of the Council's forces. "We may not have their technology, but we have something they do not, a fighting spirit," he said passionately. "We fight for our homes, our families, and our future. We will not let them take that away from us." As the general spoke, soldiers nodded in agreement, their eyes shining with resolve. They knew the odds were against them, but they believed in their cause. Each soldier was reminded of why they enlisted. Some had lost family members to war, while others felt the need to protect the only home they had ever known. Across the country, stories of bravery began to circulate. A famous astronaut named Captain Ramirez was one such story. Years ago, she had been stranded in space for days but had found a way back to Earth against all odds. People spoke of her courage and determination, and her story inspired many. "If she can survive in space, we can fight for our planet," they said, rallying around her tale. On the day of the attack, the streets of major cities filled with hopeful crowds. They waved flags and chanted slogans, cheering on their soldiers as they prepared for battle. The energy was electric, and even the youngest children felt it. They made banners with drawings of spaceships and slogans like "Earth Strong" and "We Fight Together." Their innocent enthusiasm lifted the spirits of the soldiers, reminding them of what they were fighting for. In the heart of the military base, a young soldier named Jason prepared for his first battle. He was nervous but excited. His father had fought in wars before, and Jason wanted to make him proud. As he donned his uniform, he thought of the stories his father told him, stories of heroism and sacrifice. "I will make my family proud," he vowed, steeling himself for what lay ahead. Meanwhile, on the council's side, Elder Thalos felt confident. He reviewed the final plans with his commanders, discussing strategies for the attack. "This will be a quick operation," he assured them. "We will crush them swiftly and remind them of their place in the galaxy." But deep down there was a nagging doubt. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was different about these humans. The moment arrived. Earth's forces assembled, ready to face the incoming council ships. As the enemy fleet appeared on the horizon, the humans took a deep breath, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and determination. They knew they were up against a powerful enemy, but they also felt the strength of their unity. "Remember why we fight!" shouted General Mitchell over the comms as the battle began. "We fight for each other. We fight for our families. Let's show them our strength." The battle started with a deafening roar as lasers and missiles lit up the sky. Humans fought with a fierce determination, surprising the council with their creativity and bravery. They employed clever tactics learned from their training, launching unexpected attacks that caught the council off guard. Each small victory boosted morale, and their fighting spirit grew stronger with every moment. As the battle raged on, stories of heroism unfolded on the battlefield. Jason fought alongside his fellow soldiers, his heart racing as he faced the council's forces. He remembered his father's words. "Bravery is not the absence of fear, it is the courage to fight despite it." Inspired, Jason charged forward, determined to protect his home. On the council's side, confusion began to spread. The humans were fighting back with unexpected strength, and the council's overconfidence started to falter. "How are they holding their own?" one commander asked, bewildered by the resilience of the humans. The battle continued, and the tide slowly began to turn. As the humans fought, their spirit shone through. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for their very identity. They knew they could not allow the council to take away their future. As night fell, the stars twinkled above the battlefield, illuminating the fierce clash between two worlds. The fight was far from over, but humanity had proven one thing: they were a force to be reckoned with. The council may have underestimated them, but the human spirit was alive and thriving. With each passing moment, they were rewriting the story of their species, one of courage, unity, and resilience. The humans were ready to stand tall against their foes and prove that they would never back down. As dawn broke, the battle between humanity and the Galactic Council reached a fever pitch. The night had been filled with explosions and chaos, but now a new day brought hope. Soldiers on both sides were exhausted, but the humans found strength in their unity and the determination to protect their world. General Mitchell stood on a raised platform surveying the battlefield. Smoke billowed into the sky as remnants of ships and debris floated above. He knew that today would be crucial. They had to push back the council once and for all. "Today is the day we show them who we are," he said to his commanders. "We are not just fighters, we are protectors of our home. We will not lose." The soldiers nodded, their resolve unwavering. Among them was Jason, who had fought bravely through the night. His heart raced as he thought of what lay ahead. The council's ships loomed in the distance, ready to strike again. They had to come up with a plan to outsmart their enemies. Meanwhile, Elder Thalos was equally determined. He watched the battlefield from his flagship, frustration evident on his face. "These humans are more resilient than I thought," he grumbled. "We must crush them before they gather more strength. Prepare the fleet for a final assault." As the Galactic Council ships moved closer, the air filled with tension. The humans positioned themselves, ready for the incoming attack. Each soldier felt a mix of fear and excitement. They were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting for their future. "Hold the line!" General Mitchell shouted over the comms. "We must not let them break through our defenses." He could see the determination in the eyes of his soldiers. They had fought bravely until now, and they wouldn't give up easily. The first wave of the Council's ships charged forward, weapons primed and ready. The sky lit up with blasts as lasers fired, and the sounds of explosions echoed throughout the battlefield. The humans returned fire, their makeshift weapons surprisingly effective. Jason felt adrenaline surge through him as he fired at the enemy ships, determined to protect his comrades. In the chaos, Jason spotted an enemy ship trying to flank their position. "I'll take care of that one," he shouted, charging toward it. He maneuvered his craft skillfully, dodging blasts as he closed the gap. With a steady hand, he fired, and the enemy ship exploded in a fiery burst. Cheers erupted among the human soldiers, lifting their spirits as they watched their comrades' bravery. The battle raged on, with both sides suffering losses. The Galactic Council had expected an easy victory, but they were now faced with the full force of human determination. As the humans fought, stories of bravery began to emerge. Soldiers helped each other, covering one another during fierce skirmishes. A sense of camaraderie and shared purpose grew stronger as they pushed forward. As the sun reached its zenith, a moment of silence fell over the battlefield. Both sides regrouped, taking a moment to assess their losses and formulate new strategies. General Mitchell rallied his troops. "We are stronger than they think. Let's show them what humanity is capable of. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every person on this planet." Inspired by his words, the soldiers cheered, their spirits lifted. They knew they were fighting for something greater than themselves. They fought for their families, their friends, and the future of humanity. At that moment, a massive council ship emerged from the clouds, the flagship of Elder Thalos himself. It hovered ominously above the battlefield, ready to unleash its full might. "They think they can defeat us," Thalos boomed over the communications. "But today we will show them the true power of the Galactic Council." Realizing this was their moment of truth, General Mitchell shouted, "We have to take down that flagship. If we can disrupt their command, we may turn the tide." With renewed determination, the human forces launched a coordinated attack on the flagship. Ships soared through the sky, weaving in and out of enemy fire. Jason and his fellow soldiers fought with everything they had, determined to show the Council they would not be defeated. As lasers flew and explosions echoed, the humans worked together seamlessly, united by a single goal. With a final push, they targeted the flagship's power core. The ground shook as their combined firepower struck true, causing the massive ship to shudder. "Now!" General Mitchell yelled, and with one last desperate charge, they unleashed everything they had. The flagship erupted in a blinding explosion, a symbol of humanity's strength and resilience. The Galactic Council felt the shock wave from the destruction of their flagship. Confusion and panic spread through their ranks. "Fall back," Elder Thalos ordered, realizing the tide of battle had shifted. With the Council in retreat, the humans cheered, filled with pride and joy. They had shown the galaxy that they were a force to be reckoned with. In that moment, they knew they had fought not just for survival, but for the very essence of who they were. The final showdown had begun, and humanity had emerged victorious. But as they celebrated, they knew the fight was far from over. The Galactic Council would not give up easily. But for now, they had proved their strength, and they were ready to defend their home against whatever came next. The aftermath of the battle was a scene of both devastation and hope. The sun rose over a battered landscape, casting its light on the remnants of the fierce conflict. Human soldiers stood amid the rubble of their once thriving cities, some with smiles of triumph, while others mourned the loss of friends and family. They had fought hard and won, but the cost was high. General Mitchell surveyed the battlefield, his heart heavy with mixed emotions. He had seen many brave souls fall, but he also felt pride in the strength of humanity. They had stood together against a powerful enemy and emerged victorious. "We did it," he whispered, wiping sweat and dirt from his brow. "We protected our home." As news of the victory spread, the people of Earth began to emerge from their homes. Families hugged their loved ones, tears of joy and sorrow mingling in the air. Children waved flags, their innocent laughter a welcome sound in the quiet aftermath. But even amid the joy, there was a sense of determination. The council had not been completely defeated. They would be back. In the days following the battle, the leaders of Earth met to discuss their next steps. A large gathering took place in the newly rebuilt city square. People from all walks of life gathered, eager to hear what their leaders had to say. General Mitchell stood at the front, flanked by politicians and military leaders. "Today we celebrate our victory," he began, his voice steady and strong. "But we must also prepare for what lies ahead. The Galactic Council will not forget this day. They will regroup and return, and we must be ready to defend our planet once more." The crowd listened intently, their expressions serious. They had tasted the sweetness of victory, but the threat still loomed large. One brave woman in the front row stood up. "What can we do to help?" she asked, her voice filled with resolve. General Mitchell smiled at her spirit. "We need all of you. We will need resources, volunteers, and a united front. This is not just a fight for the military, it is a fight for every person on this planet. Together we will build a stronger Earth." Inspired by his words, the crowd erupted in applause. People began to discuss ways they could contribute, from joining the military to helping rebuild their communities. Everyone wanted to play their part in this new chapter of humanity's story. As the days turned into weeks, a sense of unity emerged across Earth. The people worked together to repair damage from the battle and strengthen their defenses. Scientists and engineers collaborated to create new technology to protect against future attacks. They built stronger ships and weapons, determined to never be caught off guard again. Meanwhile, Jason, who had fought bravely during the battle, found himself inspired by the people around him. He began to train others, sharing the skills he had learned. "We must be ready for anything," he told his students, who ranged in age from teenagers to older adults. "If we stand together, we can achieve anything." The energy among the people was electric. They shared stories of bravery and resilience, reminding one another of their strength. People volunteered to serve in various capacities, from supporting the military to teaching children the importance of teamwork and courage. A new sense of pride filled the air as they worked tirelessly to protect their home. While the humans focused on rebuilding, Elder Thalos of the Galactic Council was plotting their next move. He watched from a distance, realizing that the humans had united in a way he had never anticipated. "They are more resilient than I thought," he admitted to his advisors. "But we cannot underestimate them again. We will prepare for an even larger force." As the Galactic Council regrouped, Earth continued to strengthen its defenses. The new technology they developed was impressive, but even more important was the spirit of unity among its people. They were ready to stand together against any threat, no matter how large. One day, a massive ship appeared in the sky, and the humans looked up in fear. But this time, it was not an enemy ship. It was a delegation from another star system, come to witness the strength of Earth. They had heard of the humans' bravery and resilience in the face of adversity. General Mitchell and a team of representatives welcomed the visitors, eager to forge new alliances. "We want to learn from each other," the ambassador from the new star system said. "Your courage in the face of overwhelming odds has inspired us. Together we can create a better future." The humans listened, understanding that they were no longer alone. They had fought a hard battle, and now they had the chance to build something new. The fear of the Galactic Council still lingered, but they also saw a future filled with hope, partnership, and growth. As the sun set on a new day, the people of Earth looked to the sky with determination. They had faced their fears and emerged stronger. They were ready for whatever came next, united as one. This was not just the end of a battle, it was the beginning of a new chapter for humanity, where they would continue to rise, protect their home, and reach for the stars.